What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2. We know that the endgame survival endless mode update is coming to Dungeon Defenders 2. It has a targeted launch date of Tuesday, August 8th. Now, this date has not yet been confirmed. It is just a target date. It is the day that Chromatic is shooting for. However, we have no confirmation if the update is going to be ready to go by then. This update will hit Steam on PC first, and then after it passes through certifications, will come out to consoles later. As soon as we get more info on any specific confirmed dates, I will post it up right here on the channel. Now, what is survival mode, and what makes it a true end game? Well, survival mode is endless mode with unlimited scaling. Now, we all know that Dungeon Defenders 2 is tied to its own integer, and it does have a hard cap on how much damage or how much health an enemy can have. This caps out in Onslaught mode and becomes just where you stack additional players, as you can get more damage on the map by adding another player, but you cannot add more enemy health. Now, this endgame mode, survival, is going to have modifiers that enter into the picture. The higher you go in waves, once you get past the threshold or the limit of the game's engine, there will be a buff that enemies have. One is damage resistance, another is movement speed. These buffs will scale up all the way to 200%. Meaning enemies will basically become immune to damage and be moving at super speed. With that in mind, you can push it to the limits. You can go as far as you can. You do get a true challenge and a real endgame experience. And I'm hoping lots of folks are going to be returning to the game to check it out, because I know a lot of players left when Onslaught was shown as the new endgame for Dungeon Defenders 2. Now, how will we start off survival mode? Well, there's going to be checkpoints that you save. Similar to survival mode in other Dungeon Defenders games, once you pass a particular wave, you will get a save for that wave, meaning that when you join the map again, you can start at that checkpoint, which is a save further up. These checkpoints will be earned every 5 waves, so if you complete wave 5, you're going to earn checkpoint number 1, which is going to be a wave 6 start. If you complete wave 10, you're going to earn checkpoint number 2, which is a wave 11 start, etc. Every 5 waves, as you play through survival, will unlock a new checkpoint. Now, by default, for completing an expedition tier, there will be a checkpoint unlock. That way, endgame players don't have to go through and play through the super early game of survival. The checkpoint, the only one that's known for sure, is Chaos 10. That was discussed quite a bit on Discord. Chaos 10 is going to unlock checkpoint number 14, which is going to be wave 70 or a wave 71 start. So the only thing really in preparation that you would want to do at this point in the game is just make sure you have a Chaos 10 Expedition win. Now, this, of course, is for players that want to get a jump start on survival and really start getting into it. Don't let anything else affect your experience. If you're newer to the game, or if you're not in Chaos 10 yet, just play the game and have fun. And remember, it's about the journey, not about the destination. As with mini grind games, once you get to the destination, your gameplay experience is basically over. So enjoy the journey. Don't try to rush things. But if you do want to get that jump and you're already a endgame player, whether that be starting endgame or well into the depths of endgame, then you're going to want to just make sure you have that one Chaos 10 Expedition win. This will unlock the checkpoint 14, and then you won't have to go through all of those hours, assuming it's going to take hours, to get up to that point. Now, survival mode is going to drop a godly gear. We do have a few samples of godly gear. Basically, godly gear is going to give you a third stat under what you already have. So, like in this example, I'd be able to get armor, hero damage, and then maybe ability power as a third stat. it has been confirmed that there can't be a duplicate third stat. So like in this situation, there's no way I would get armor or hero damage as the third stat. It's going to be something else that benefits my character. Everything in the game except pets currently can be godly mode. So you'll be able to get godly armor, godly weapons, godly relics, assuming godly rings as well. These you can not only get as drops, but they will also, your current gear can be upgraded. So if you went into our advancement system, or I'm not really sure, I guess it would be evolution, you can, or no, that's chaos level. Advance is the item tier. So you'd have to go into the advanced tab. You'll be able to upgrade your gear to godly gear. And then additionally, if you don't like the third stat you've got, or say you grinded out perfect stat gear, you can come over to the blacksmith. The blacksmith is going to allow you to re-roll that third stat. Now, the currency you're going to be using, or the crafting material that you're going to be using to upgrade your gear to godly and assumedly to re-roll, is going to be godly orbs. So how will you get these godly orbs? Well, godly orbs are not going to be a drop. Additionally, as a lot of people expected, including myself, godly orbs are not going to be available at the material shop or at the conversion vendor. So you won't be able to buy your way into godly gear. You're going to have to earn your godly gear. Now, with that in mind, you will be able to buy godly gear from other players, which means you can basically buy godly orbs from other players. Buying a godly item from another player, of course, this will be a natural drop only. That will give you a godly orb when you sell that item. So how you will achieve your godly orbs is by selling an item. The currency that you get for selling that item will be a godly orb. So that's how godly orbs will be earned. They won't be drops. It'll be all about the godly gear, and the godly gear is going to be rare drops from high survival waves. We don't know exactly what the percentages are there yet, or do we know if that is going to scale up higher as you climb higher? That is still an unknown factor. Now, with this in mind, there's not going to be anybody selling any godly gear right out of the gates. And if so, they're going to be selling it at ridiculous prices. So just don't plan ahead for your godly gear at all. Previously, I had told players to grind out defender medals. That was assuming you'd be able to buy the materials at the vendors. Since you won't be able to buy the materials at the vendors, there's no need to grind out the DMs at all, other than just for whatever purpose you are currently grinding your defender medals for. Another really interesting aspect of survival mode, and this is something I wish they would have done in Onslaught many, many years ago, it is extremely co-op friendly. So you can play with your friends from any tier, no matter where you are. Now, the reward that that lower tier person that would get is going to be scaled to their account and their characters. So, for example, say I had Survival Wave 10 unlocked, and you had Survival Wave 71, or that Checkpoint 14 unlocked, I could still join you. However, if my champion score is showing Chaos 1 gear, I am going to be getting Chaos 1 quality drops, no matter what floor I'm on. Additionally, when I get an unlock, I will get the next wave unlock. Meaning if I'm at level, or at wave 10 and you're at wave 100 and I join you, you are going to be unlocking wave 101 by completing wave 100. I personally am going to be unlocking wave 11, as although I did join you and I did get the experience and the carry, it's only going to give me the next wave unlock available. So there won't be any skipping through the content. However, the gating is removed to make it much more co-op friendly, and hopefully some people decide to start playing together. Now, of course, once we know more about godly drop percentage rates, if there ever is any sort of a published percentage rate, we'll post it up here on the channel so we will know what areas are best to farm, or what waves are best to farm for godly gear. However, until we get that information, it's just going to be climb as high as you can. Now, there are going to be leaderboards going, and that will be where the real end game comes into play, as you'll be able to see where you stand versus other people climbing the leaderboards. Now, although by completing a Chaos 10 expedition, you will unlock Checkpoint 14 or Wave 71, each individual unlock from there forward is going to be map specific. So let's say I did my Chaos 10 and I came into an Unholy Catacombs, started at Wave 71, I cleared through Wave 75, that unlocks Checkpoint 15 for me. That's only going to unlock Checkpoint 15 on that specific map. So you will have to go in and earn your checkpoint unlocks on further maps past that starting reward of Checkpoint 14 for clearing Chaos 10. There will be no replay from Wave available. However, once you earn the checkpoint, it is permanent to your account. This checkpoint will not reset. It will not change through Ancient Power resets or anything. Now, remember, the loot that drops is tied to your champion score. So, if you do an Ancient Power reset and you are able to get back in at a Checkpoint 14 or Checkpoint 20 or whatever the case of where you're at, the gear that drops is going to be based off of your current champion score, so it won't be giving you any skips in that regard as well. Now, I will be putting up a little bit of a theory crafting video based off of the godly gear we have seen so far, just to give us all an idea of what to shoot for. I do love the aspect that we've got a permanent progression, unlimited scaling game mode now, and additionally that the godly mode or third stat will be able to be re-rolled. To me, that's going to make for a great end game and should be a fun experience, and it's something that everyone will be able to achieve. One of players' instant negative thoughts is, someone who plays the game 10 hours a day is going to have more opportunities than someone that plays the game 1 hour a day as far as survival endless mode goes. And that's just not going to be the case since you've got the checkpoints. So in theory, if you can go in and play a map 5 waves every day, you will be progressing every single day just with the 5 waves and earning yourself a new checkpoint. The checkpoints do go all the way up to checkpoint 100, which is wave 500. It is not expected that players are going to be able to make it anywhere near that with the scaling of damage reduction and enemy movement speed. Of course, once you get to the point where you're doing just 1% damage and the enemies are moving at 200% speed, then, you're going to just get wrecked. That's just how it is. So the challenge will be seeing how far you can push it and how far you can make it on the leaderboards. As soon as we get some more information, I will post it up here, but that will do it for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.